The truth of why your spouse doesn't support your business. Do you sometimes feel like as an entrepreneur, you're out there, you're working hard, you're putting in long hours, you're taking a lot of stress, you're trying to provide for the family, but sometimes maybe your spouse doesn't understand you, or in some cases, they even sabotage you and they hold you back and they prevent you from going to the next level. Today, we're gonna share with you why that is, how that came about, and how you're gonna solve that.
I think it's very simple. Lack of communication. Because you never tell your spouse what are you working on.
I think part of it is one thing about our relationship. We are very transparent. That I think a lot
Sometimes
of times,
too transparent.
sometimes I agree. Like she knows, not like, because I think in terms of husband and wife, sometimes the husband or the wife, it's out there in the business world and you're trying to make money, you're trying to build a business, but you tell something to your spouse. Now maybe you're thinking, oh, he or she won't understand, or maybe I don't want to burden him or her with what's going through, like all the stress, or I won't take it on. I don't think that's very healthy. With Jennie, I tell her everything. I mean, she knows every single client that I have. She knows every single partner that I have, knows them very, very well. She knows all my investments. She knows everything.
Even though I haven't met some of them.
Yeah, she knows everything. So that's what we talk about. In fact, I think in our communication, because with what we do, we talk about business probably 80% of the time.
Yeah.
80%
Yes, we
of the
do.
time. Like we're talking about business, we're having dinner, we're having lunch, we're talking about business, we're talking about how about this, how we're gonna make it better, or a scenario that we have, and we solve the problems together versus I think even with my mentees, sometimes I see that, let's say the husband, the wife, let's say the wife is a housewife. The husband sometimes feel like, yeah, but she's at home, she doesn't understand, she's watching TV, or she's taking care of the kids. I don't want to bother with her, and I don't even want to bother trying to explain to her because she won't get it anyway. It's not her job to get it; it's your job to communicate what you're doing. And if you want their support, I always say, as the leader of the family, you got to sell him or her. You got to sell your spouse. You got to close your spouse. So if you're gonna go and take that new leap of faith, take that risk, you want your spouse to support you. Well, if you can't even sell your spouse on the vision, how are you gonna sell everybody else on the vision? How are you gonna get your employees? How are you gonna get your team to work together with you on the vision? You can't even sell the ones who's closest to you.
Yeah,
right?
I gotta talk from a wife perspective. It's just imagine, let's say we're at home all day, pretend, and then busy with the kids, busy with the family, and then the husband's working outside, and then coming back home
Late. Yeah.
late, and then we have nothing to talk about. Like sometimes maybe from a wife perspective, I want to tell you what I've gone through today, but then the husband's so busy,
I'm
don't want to
so tired, I
listen.
don't hear about it.
And then he's like, okay, so what did you do today? Tell me. And the husband's like, oh, I'm so tired. We'll talk
don't wanna
another
talk about
time. From a wife perspective, it's very frustrating. It's like, at least you could tell me what is not going through, like what is not going
Working,
right,
yeah.
what's not working. I can help you in a way. Maybe I'm not good like helping solve it 100%, but at least you can tell me a little. I can try to help. And then sometimes when you actually, baby, I closed this deal or something like that, you could let us know too, and then we will celebrate together. And then sometimes you need celebration, right? Can't just be working. And then sometimes the thing is, it's funny, I sometimes give him very feminine perspective, which he never thought about.
Yeah, I agree.
It's brand new kind of perspective.
Yeah.
And then I gotta tell you, naturally, women can read people better.
Yeah.
So which means
I agree.
sometimes men stuck with how come this deal is not going through? This is not really, I try to communicate with this side, doesn't get me. But maybe talk to your wife a little bit. Maybe wife knows, maybe he's thinking that way you never thought about. How about try that,
I think
right?
the whole thing with us, how it all started is, when I was speaking or traveling a lot, and we see each other less, and she was at first, well, how come we can't see each other as often? And I said, well, because I'm traveling, I'm speaking somewhere, I'm flying, and well, why don't you bring me along? I said, well, I'll bring you along. Like, how does that work? I don't know. And we actually thought, well, maybe we'll try once. And she was actually kind enough to volunteer, right, to kind of help me at an event. And when she showed up, because our relationship, the trust is already there, I don't have to worry so much. Now, keep in mind, you had no experience running an event. It was a pretty big event.
No.
But she was just trying her best. Of course, she made some mistakes. Doesn't matter. But the heart was there, and she was helping out. And then I thought, okay, this is nice.
Yeah, because you were hiring an event planner.
I had an
right?
event planner.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was a lot of things were going wrong.
Yes.
A lot of things were going
Yes.
wrong. But she stepped in and said, you know what, why don't I help you? I said, appreciate that. And she did. And
I even find a friend to help me out too.
Like, that's awesome. And then afterwards, it was very, very successful. And then after that, what's very interesting is I started to get Jennie more and more involved in what I do. Like to a point where, and of course, she's so smart and so intuitive that you picked up a lot of different things. And from there, even now, almost every business meeting that I'll bring her along. If I'm meeting with a new partner, a new business person, I always bring her along. Now, when I bring her along, she doesn't say much. She just observes. But I always say she's like my, the detector? Like a detector. So, right, always after the meeting, I say, what do you think of that guy? And she's like, and I would say, I think that's a great guy. I think we can do some business together. And she's like, no. She's like, that's not good. I said, what do you mean? I think he's confident. He seems to know what he's doing. And she would pick up things that I would have never picked up. Now, at first, as the successful entrepreneur, I would say, alpha male. They're like, no, you don't know what he's talking about. I know. I come on. I've been doing business for a long time. I read people very well, and I do read people very well. But so many times where I would read someone and I would get it wrong, but I would say like 99% of the time, maybe 99.9% of the time it's right. So now it's easy for me. I just say, what do you think? And she say, I like this person, do it. I don't like this person, don't do it. It's very easy for me, very easy. So if you're planning to do any business with me, get through her. You get through her, you get through me. She's like my filter. And when I listen to her, that her woman intuition, it's unbelievable. Vice versa. So going back to the question, that if your wife doesn't support, your husband doesn't support you, it's your fault. That you haven't convinced them. You haven't persuaded them. Or maybe, let's face it, as entrepreneur, we have a lot of failures. We have a lot of ups and downs, right? You go and present a new idea to your wife. Hey wife, I'm gonna do this. I said, then you just fucked up the 10 things you tried in the last 10 years. Now you gotta try this again, right? It happens. But guess what? Every single time, as the leader, as an entrepreneur, you gotta say, you know what, this is, and I know maybe you said it many times, wife, this is it. This is the last time. I'm telling you, this is gonna be huge.
This is a big thing.
This is gonna be huge. It's gonna be awesome. Right? Didn't you just say that like 3 months ago? No, that was that. Forget that shit. This is real. And then it
happens to him too.
It happens to me many times. Many times. But what law of average, one of those incidents, you will make it. And you make up one win. That's the good thing about business. One win can make up for all losses. Just one. I don't care if you screw up 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're in debt. It doesn't matter. One win can make up for all losses. That's the great thing about business. You gotta just gotta keep swinging the bat. Hit the home run once, keep swinging the bat, right? Now, on the other hand, sometimes in relationship, you have the spouse that's also an entrepreneur. So you're an entrepreneur, the spouse is also like, you have an alpha male and then you have an alpha female. Now, what do you do?
Wow, yeah. That's another really tough situation. But I would say communicate, still communicate. You gotta communicate with each other and you gotta maybe know clearly your role of what you are playing in your family. So that goes back to, we always talk, could only be one leader.
There could be only one leader in the family.
One leader, one follower. Could not be two leaders.
Yeah. Someone has to make some sacrifices.
Exactly.
Someone has to come to some kind of compromise. Mm-hmm. You cannot be, I want to build my business, I want to build my huge business. Well, then you're not together. You're not one unit. Because
when you marry or even you're dating, you will be married in the future. You're basically like on the same boat. You cannot say, let's go left, let's go right.
One is like going that way, the other one is going the opposite direction.
We only have one boat.
Then what happens? The boat just spins.
Exactly.
You got to go with the same direction, right? Because now two people together, you have much more firepower. Again, if your spouse doesn't support you, it is your job. Think about, why doesn't they support you? If you are honest, why doesn't they support you? What about your track record in the past? Have you shown them that you are someone that they can rely on? Have you shown them that they could trust you? Have you shown them that, you know what, by helping my partner, that we would be successful as well? Or you've been kind of sloppy with certain things, and then you don't have a track record. Because one thing about Jennie can tell, she can always rely on, if I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. If I'm going to provide, I'm going to provide. There's no, well, what if Dan doesn't make it? What if he loses it? What if, right? Like, what's your perspective?
I gotta say, also goes back to communication, because even though you maybe had a lot of failures, but then as the other partner, I think from women, we are always supportive in the beginning.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do, and sometimes when I see Dan's working really hard, it feels really hard for me to blame him on like lacking of some things. Like, I know he's working so hard and he's trying to be focused in the day, so at the night, okay, I'll understand that. Or tell me a lot of failures, I was like, oh, okay, maybe you had a tough day, maybe let's forget about it, and then I'll cheer you up on another successful day, right? So if you don't say anything, like wife is like, you don't tell me, I don't know what you have done. Maybe you have been kicking ass outside, or maybe you had 10 failed meetings, but at least you're trying. If you tell this to your wife, I think your wife or the other partner will be really appreciated. And then they wouldn't blame you down, or maybe, because without communication, all they can do is imagination. I imagine you didn't work hard because you failed this. I imagine you didn't...
You slacked off.
Yeah, you slacked off. You didn't maybe talk enough, or maybe you didn't try enough. But the truth is, maybe you already tried so hard. So I think it's very important.
And I think as a man, you gotta show that conviction to your wife that even though when we were together, I was already successful, but not as successful as today. I don't think we even thought about I'll be this successful. I don't know. Like
This never planned.
Never thought about like, oh, I'm gonna be this big. But it's more like from the belief that I instill the belief in her that if this someone's gonna make it that big, it's gonna be my husband.
Yeah,
right?
I do feel that way.
If like she's met so many men, so many different people, it's like, there's someone that can make it that big, it's gonna be my husband. So are you conveying that kind of message to your wife? Are you conveying that kind of conviction to your wife? Are you conveying that kind of confidence to your wife? I think that's what's missing. So don't so much blame your spouse. Look within. Look at you within yourself. That, hey, have I done everything I could to get the support? Not even get the support, to earn the support. You don't just get the support. You got to earn the right. You got to earn the support. I think that's what the big message is. So don't feel like, she's supposed to support me. He's supposed to support me. He's my husband. She's my wife. No, put that aside. Put that aside. And I bet human beings, if you're truly strong enough and you are truly reliable and you truly can give your spouse the confidence, guess what? They will support you. And if they don't, guess what? Then probably they may not be the right spouse for you. But I think most of the time, if you're truly strong, they were more than happy. Why would they not see you do well? Why would they not want you to succeed? Why would you not want you to do the best for the family? Of course they would. It's you haven't given them the confidence. That's the issue, right? And that's the main message for today's episode, right? Always remember, it's look within. For something to change, first you have to change. You want something to change? You have to change. Comment below, maybe share with us your experience. What's it like with your spouse or your relationship? If you have any questions, also comment below. And if it's a good comment, it's a good question, we're gonna cover that in the future episode of Alpha Man and Smart Woman. Okay? Click on the bell, turn on notification, subscribe. We upload a new video every single day. Every single day upload a new video. Check out some of our other videos on the right side as well. A lot of business videos, relationship videos as well. Check that out. Until next time, remember, behind every successful man, there is a smarter woman.